Before we begin, this video is general health education, not personal medical advice. Ever felt that satisfying pull when you stretch? That's your muscles responding to lengthening. But is it really making you more flexible or just feeling good? Today we'll explore the science behind stretching, what actually happens in your body, why some myths persist, and how to do it effectively without risking injury. Remember, this is educational content, not medical advice. When you stretch, your muscles and tendons respond in clever ways. Tiny sensors called mechanoreceptors detect the tension and send signals to your brain, which can make stretching feel good. Stretching also helps reduce muscle swelling by balancing fluids inside cells like a tiny sponge squeezing out water. The longer and more often you stretch, the better your body adapts. You've probably heard that static stretching before workouts prevents injuries. The science says it's more nuanced. Static stretching, holding a stretch for 30+ seconds, can actually reduce muscle strength and power temporarily, making you less explosive during activities like sprinting or weightlifting. That doesn't mean it's useless. It just isn't the best prep for high-intensity exercise. Dynamic stretching moving through ranges of motion, like leg swings or arm circles, is more effective for warming up because it mimics the movements you'll use in your workout. It primes your muscles and joints without slowing you down. So if you're aiming to prevent injuries, dynamic stretches are your go-to. But even then, no stretching routine guarantees injury prevention. It's just one piece of a broader strategy that includes proper warm-ups, strength training, and listening to your body. When you stretch, your muscle cells swell slightly like a balloon filling with water. This triggers ion channels, tiny doors in the cell, to balance pressure by moving potassium and chloride ions. Dehydration or low electrolytes disrupt this process, making stretching less effective. Staying hydrated helps your muscles respond properly during stretches. Flexibility is how far a muscle can stretch, like bending your leg back as far as it'll go. Mobility is about using that range smoothly in real life, like squatting or reaching for something on a shelf without pain. Think of flexibility like the length of a rubber band, and mobility like how easily you can twist its ends without snapping. Stretching improves flexibility, but mobility training helps your body use that range. Both are essential for movement. Stretching builds flexibility with consistency. Aim for 2-3 sessions weekly, each lasting 10-30 minutes. Static stretches, holding 15 to 60 seconds, lengthen muscles over time, while dynamic moves, like leg swings, prep them before activity. Results vary by genetics and prior activity. No method works alone. Stop if you feel sharp pain. It signals your body needs rest or slower progression. Ever feel like stretching eases muscle tension? The science says it can by gently lengthening muscles and tendons, which may reduce discomfort from tightness or overuse. Think of it like loosening a spring. When you stretch, you're giving your muscles space to relax. But here's the catch. Stretching alone won't fix chronic pain or injuries. If you feel sharp pain beyond normal tension, stop your body signaling it needs more prep or rest. Stretching is best paired with strength training and consistency, 2-3 sessions per week, for real relief. Stretching can ease muscle tension by gently lengthening muscles and tendons, like loosening a spring. But it's not always enough for chronic stiffness or pain. If you feel sharp pain beyond normal tension, your body is signaling it needs more prep or rest. Stretching works best when paired with strength training, 2-3 sessions per week, to support real-world movement. For stubborn tightness, professional guidance like physical therapy can help tailor a plan that fits your body's needs. Stretching isn't one-size-fits-all. Your age and activity level change how your body responds. Younger people often bounce back faster from tightness, but as we get older, muscles and tendons stiffen more easily. If you're active, like a runner or dancer, your muscles adapt quickly to stretching. But if you're sedentary, they'll loosen slower. The key? Consistency. 2-3 sessions a week, and listening to your body. Sharp pain means stop. Normal tension is just your muscles adjusting. Pairing stretching with strength training keeps it effective without overpromising quick fixes. Stretching wrong can backfire, like bouncing instead of holding still. Bouncing jolts muscles too fast. Your body reacts by tightening, undoing any benefit. Sharp pain isn't normal tension, it's a warning to stop. Overstretching, especially in cold muscles, strains tendons and ligaments, risking injury. Ignoring form or pushing past limits can loosen joints unnaturally, making stiffness worse long-term. The fix? Slow, controlled movements. Warm up first, light cardio, and never force a stretch beyond mild discomfort. Listen to your body, it's smarter than you think. When you stretch, your body releases tension, but it also signals your brain to relax. This isn't magic. It's how your nervous system responds to slow, controlled movements. Stretching can ease stress by reducing muscle tightness, which often comes from emotional or physical strain. Think of it like a reset button for both your muscles and mind. However, this effect is subtle. It won't cure anxiety, but may help manage it over time. Always pair stretching with other stress relief strategies, like deep breathing or mindfulness, for the best results. Stretching calms your nervous system, easing muscle tension from stress. But it's not a magic fix for anxiety. Pair it with deep breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, exhale 6 to amplify the effect. Always warm up first, march in place, or do light cardio to protect muscles and joints. If you feel sharp pain, stop immediately. This is educational content, not medical advice. For personalized care, consult a healthcare provider. Remember, this is general health education, not personal medical advice. For individual guidance,